Tuxes, dresses, limos, spike punch, and broken condoms. It's prom season again, so we watched Party Night. We watched it so you don't have to. So you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
What's up, Moon Goons?
What's up, Moon Goons?
Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies.
Movies so bad, they're scary.
I like that. I'm your host, Mr. Marshall Hampton. With me today. You know what? Before I'm not even going to go into this because I was about to say on this fine day, but you know what? Fuck that. It's mid-fucking April. Like April...
20th, bro.
20th. April 20th, and there's a fucking blizzard outside.
You know what it is, man. Mother Nature's been smoking her own reefer. It's 420, celebrating the holiday, and said, you know what, man? I think snow would be cool right now. Because it snowed!
It's fucking snowing in April in St. Louis today.
I liked it, though. It was really cool.
Oh, fuck that snow.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Big, fat, huge
They
flakes.
were big fatties, that is for sure.
And nothing was sticking, so I didn't care. It was awesome. I thought it was great. Thank you, Mother Nature. Pass
There's
the
no
bomb.
business being here. Anyway, not that out of the way. I'm your host, Mr. Marshall Hampton, Lord Marshall Hampton, if you will. With me is always my buddy, my co-host, Mr. Aaron Southworth. Aaron, how are you doing on this snowy day?
Yeah, I told you I love it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get back into
It's just the habit of saying that over and over
Yeah.
again. I just noticed.
Yeah, that was completely like, I just, halfway through that sentence, I was like, he just
I'm just
said
saying
that. And I'm like, and it was just pure muscle reflex,
Right.
right? Just muscle going.
Maybe we need to mix it up some more.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So anyway, let's move on. We got a few things to talk about before we get into our movie. First off, I want to remind you guys about the Horrible Horror Hotline that you can call and reach us for anything you want. If you want to bitch at us, complain, suggest movies, tell us what you like us. Whatever you just want to complain about your bitch ass girlfriend
Or boyfriend.
you can do that too.
Have we had any calls?
We've had some.
Okay, cool.
The hotline is 7404-SUCK-IT. That's the number. Completely free, by the way. Just dial it up and leave your message. Also, after that, I do want to remind you guys that this is the last podcast we will be recording for 2 weeks, or 2.5 weeks or so, depending on when I get this posted. I will be taking a very short hiatus for my wedding, and I'm going on vacation for about a week after that. And then when I return, we will be back in the flow. So look for a new episode probably second week of May, somewhere around there.
I'll still be posting stuff on Instagram, Facebook, and stuff.
Yeah, hopefully we get back on schedule.
Keep the heart beating a little bit.
So just want to remind you guys about that. Last thing we have a big announcement to make tonight, other than the break. But the big announcement is we crowned our champion for the Horrible Horror March Movie Madness Tournament of Awfulness.
I feel like we need good some sort of reward music, like Legend of Zelda. You know,
yeah,
something.
oh yeah, that's or like Final Fantasy, or yeah, like the yeah. I'll have to get that for next year. I'll work on that, but I don't have anything right now. Well, to crown the winner, remember the championship round, we had Halitosis, who was our number 1 seed, going up against Dr. Bone, the horrible Dr. Bones. And basically, just like in real life tournament, our number 1 seed, well, no drama, our number 1 seed just bulldozed through the tournament, and becoming the winner for this year's tournament is Halitosis. Just steamrolled its way through the competition. Congratulations, Halitosis, the legend of Stank.
The legend of Stank Mouth.
You are the 2020-2021 grand champion. You are the worst of the worst.
And man, you know what? It kind of was.
Yeah, I remember doing that episode. I don't remember if you predicted it winning, but I know you predicted it being probably at least in the finals or one of the top contenders for this year's tournament. You did say that.
Absolutely. It was awful in every way. You know?
I have no real complaints with this one. I think that's fine. So yeah, I think it's a worthy winner. It's worthy of the crown.
And thank you, all the Moon Goons who voted and participated. Yes. There was a lot of chatter going through. There was a lot of people who were consistent. We had a couple of people just pop in here and there and throw in a vote for a particular movie or something they didn't like or did like. But thank you very much. That makes it fun. You guys picked the worst of the worst movie, Halitosis, Legend of Stankmouth, and for such, loyal followers, what I decided to do, and Marshall, I haven't talked to you about this.
Oh, okay. You're putting me on the spot.
I'm going to go ahead and do it later this week. I'm going to post on Instagram a small raffle of everyone who voted in the horror tournament of awfulness, COVID edition.
COVID edition, that's right.
And give them some movies. Give them some horror movies that I have.
Oh, well, all right.
Yeah, just thought that'd be kind of fun.
I don't know which ones we have left. We've given most of them away.
I got a handful. I still got a handful.
All right.
Yeah, I got some good ones too. I'll just yeah.
A little thank you. Nice. Thank you to our listeners for participating.
So everyone who's voted has now been entered into a drawing, which will be done sometime.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we could either do it when we get back and announce it on the show, or
I think I'll do it while you're gone, just for something for people to look forward to. I'll post on Instagram and Facebook.
Fair enough.
All right.
So there, cool. That's cool news. Awesome. With that said, I don't think there's anything else we need to bring up or talk about.
You're looking good.
Thanks.
And that's something to talk about.
Oh, all right.
So you've been getting ready for that wedding.
Yeah, all them
shirts.
All them chicken wings and Pop-Tarts. That's my wedding diet, right? Yeah, no, I'm just not sure. I'm not eating all that, but yeah.
Shirts fitting a little better.
This is a newer shirt. Anyway,
just take the compliment.
Yeah, I'll take it. All right. As I ramble on. All right, so party night. This week's movie is party night. It's prom season.
Is it prom season? COVID-19 has fucked everything up. Are they even having proms?
I assume they're having some. I've seen pictures of prom girls in their prom dresses. I've on like Twitter and stuff. And
seems like a bad idea.
Probably, but they're gonna be masked. I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe they're doing some kind of
virtual prom.
Yeah, God damn. Who knows? But it's prom season, and I don't think we did a prom movie last year. I want to get back in the flow of it.
You do have a weird thing for prom movies.
Well, there's so many. I mean, it's a good so many of them out there.
It's a subgenre of horror. It's a horror trope. You got the camp
horror trope. I wouldn't call it a subgenre because it's still slight. It's
you got
a trope.
The camp horror movies when they go to camps. There's shit tons of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess you got prom ones.
Almost anything with a party.
Yeah, parties. Yeah, I'm running out of tropes.
It's all right.
I'm just not thinking.
It's okay.
It worked.
Party night. Party night released on April 28th of 2017. Written and directed by Troy S. Camilla. His guy's only got 3 directing credits to his name. This was his very first movie. His second movie, which we've also done on this show, was Mrs. Claus. We did that back in...
shit.
Yeah, he's Mrs. Claus. You can currently find this movie for free on Tubi, and it's on Amazon. I don't remember if it's free on Prime right now or if it's a rental, but either way, it's on Amazon, but you can watch it for free on Tubi.
I'm guessing you watched it on Tubi.
I watched it on Tubi, yeah. Cast, a few people, the only 3 people I'm going to mention. Ryan Poole plays Andrew. Drew Shotwell plays Nelson, and Billy Brannigan plays Travis. And basically, the only reason I mentioned them is because all 3 of them were also in Mrs. Claus. So we're seeing that come back around.
Oh shit!
Yeah, all 3 of them were in Mrs. Claus.
Don't recognize any of them.
Andrew Ryan Poole I recognize right away. Because he's got the look. He's kind of the redheaded guy, and redheads are few and far between. So he's the one I recognized first.
He was the one who got killed in the patrol car, right?
In the
security patrol car when he got like a candy cane into the ear.
Probably.
Yeah,
I think he was kind of like a jock guy in Mrs. Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the other 2 I don't really remember too much. I think Drew Shotwell he's the black guy who I think was smoking weed with potato
Potato
face in the garage.
Yeah.
And I think Billy Brannigan was the nerdy podcast guy who got killed on the with the
PC Wokenstein.
Yeah. I think that was him. I could be wrong, but I think that was him.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it. All three.
Listen to that episode, Moon Goons. Go back into our archives. You can find them. And
we got 2 weeks off. You got time to catch up on some older
check
episodes
out our archives
after this. So that's it. That's really it. That's all there is to really talk about this movie before people worth mentioning. So let's just let's dive right in. So the movie, we open in a dark house where a killer looks to be cutting off the fingers of a dead body while some girl hides in a closet. But it's so goddamn fucking dark, I can't really tell what's going on.
I couldn't tell what was going on either, dude.
Okay,
It was
just
just ridiculously dark.
The killer finally finds this girl, stabs her with somewhere. I can't tell where it is because, again, it's dark. He then stands over her, raises the machete for the killing blow, and just cuts the title card. We hear the girl scream. And honestly, it wouldn't be a terrible opening if it wasn't so fucking dark and you can actually see a little better of what was actually happening. Because otherwise, it's not that bad. Like, okay, there's some tension. You got a killer going around being creepy, cutting off fingers. The girl's hiding. Girl gets found. I'm like, okay, not bad. But like I said, it's so damn dark, you can't really appreciate what's happening.
And I feel like they took the 80th cut of that girl screaming because she just sounds like her voice is shot. She's like, oh God, and screaming 20 times.
No, it might have been stock footage scream at that point. It might not have even been her, but yeah,
horrible. It's not like get that girl.
Yeah, I will say the voice, the scream we hear doesn't seem like it came from that girl.
You give her a halls drop, man. She's got to have a raspy ass voice.
Yeah. So after the title card, we cut to the famous Halloween shot of our three, and you know what I'm talking about when you see it. It's our three main girls walking and talking down a sidewalk on the way home from school. Down a sidewalk to like the peaceful, picturesque suburban neighborhood, just like in Halloween. So that's to me, it's always the Halloween shot. They talk about boys and prom and how one of the boys named Nelson wants them to have a private after prom party at his uncle's secluded lake house. So, and I gotta say, at this point, the camera, it's so fucking shaky while they walk. It's not a steady cam. It just, you can tell, like, they're not even like doing like the cheap trick, like have somebody stand on a skateboard and pull them back. So it's just like some dude walking backwards with the camera, and the camera is so shaky.
It's Michael J. Fox. He was the one doing camera. Is that a rough one?
No, that's a rough one.
Okay.
That's come on. Michael J. Fox to me is off limits. That guy's a national treasure.
Okay, what about Dean Malenko? Recently diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Yeah, get him what's new. It's so shaky. It's almost nausea-inducing. It's really fucking bad. Luckily, it doesn't go on too long, but it is bad. It's terrible.
It distracts you a lot.
Yeah, it's so distracting. Then we cut to some old man sitting on a dock, dock on the bay, I guess, fishing in a lake.
Dude, I've got the nastiest little limerick for sitting on the dock of a bay.
Oh, yeah?
We used to say it in Boy Scouts.
Oh.
Which was sitting on the dick of a gay.
Oh, jeez.
Watching the cum roll away. Yeah, pretty gross.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. And we saying that in Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts, wholesome American values. Boy Scouts.
So he's sitting on the the dock of a bay.
Yeah. And then it cuts to he gets them to go take a piss, and he finds a girl's sunglasses and cell phone in the grass. He calls the local sheriff, which I found funny during the quote unquote phone call, because it's plain. I was like, when you look at the phone he's supposedly talking into, it's just black. You can tell the phone's not even turned on. There's nothing on. It's just talking to a black. It just wants to. These little bunch of movies, and it gets boring. I find these little things.
You find little nits.
I find little nicks.
You find those little nits.
Because in the bigger budget movies, notice they don't do that. Like they always do take.
Well, I have
care of those.
I have a bigger nit that I'm surprised he didn't pick up on when he's like, "Sheriff, I found this girl's phone. I found
go
sunglasses. Ahead. This phone is from. Oh man, it doesn't make sense. This phone is from 2004. It's a fucking old Razor phone.
Yeah, it's a Razor flip phone.
And this is 2017.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
No one had Razor phones.
Not in 2017, but in 2004, they were all the craze back then.
Was this supposed to take place in 2004? No.
I don't think so.
No.
But okay, I'm not getting fucking spoilers, right? But
It's an old ass phone.
it's an old ass phone, and the thing is, like, we find out later that a bunch of girls have gone missing. So we don't really know when this girl went missing. So maybe there's, I guess, an off chance that phone has sat in that grass for 10 years.
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
I'm sure it is, but technically we never know.
We do find out about this because the guy sitting on the dock, he's talking to the sheriff saying, I found this stuff. And, you know, he's like, I know a lot of those girls just recently went missing just like a couple months ago. It just looks out of place. It's something that's alarming me. And, you know, I'm actually like, good on you, man. Good on you. That's a pretty...
He's doing his good
civic
Samaritan
duty,
thing.
yeah.
At one point, you do see on the phone the white little box that says low battery. You see that on the phone in one shot, and then another shot is completely gone again. But
damn.
Yeah.
The things you pay attention
I know. It's I can't help it. So anyway, he gets off the phone, and that's when he starts hearing someone sneaking around in like the bushes or the grass around him. And so, of course, he has to go to investigate it, which leads him to getting a machete stabbed right through his stomach, killing him. He's dead.
It's so weird because he's completely... It's such an open area.
Yeah.
You have to go out of your way to go investigate the rustling in the bushes.
Yeah, it really is a pretty open area.
It's a rural area. I'm sure there's all kinds of varmints running around out there. You know, if you heard a varmint scurrying, you would be like, hey, you varmint! Hey, what's going on there?
Get out of here! Go and get! So we go back to our main girl sitting in class, texting her boyfriend Nelson. They text about how everyone, like, hey, everyone's in for the party. Yay, happy, yay, good times, whatever. Bell rings, school lets out. Molly, the Asian girl, and Amy, our main girl, we finally find their names, do some more walking, talking. Up comes Nelson, but he quickly leaves to join the other guys to go rent their tuxes. And I'm like, what? Wait, huh, dude? You kidding me? Like, this is like the night of prom. Like, prom is tonight, and they're just now going to get their tuxes?
I knew you'd harp on that.
Of course I'm going to harp on that. Who
it.
waits the night of prom to go get tuxes?
It's also 3 hours. It's 3 hours. It's 3 hours until prom. They say that. It's like, all right, 3 hours to prom.
Let's go get our tuxes, guys. Let's go to the store and try to rent a tux in 3 hours. Fuck this people. Like, good luck, assholes. Dumbass. So seriously, whatever. We jump to our three main guys at the tux rental shop, try on their tuxes. This is where we meet Nelson, Andrew, and Travis. Nelson and Andrew are like larger, jock-looking guys, while Travis is the smaller, scrawnier guy. So, just to give you a visual there. Right back to Amy and Molly we go. They're now in one of their bedrooms. I don't know which one, getting dressed for prom. And we meet their other friend, Olivia, who's also with them. And they're just doing girl talk and getting ready. And then it cuts back to the school where prom is now suddenly over already. The kids exit the building. So a movie about prom night, all about prom night, and just doesn't even feature the fucking prom. What the shit, man? What's the point? Why even call it, like, why even make prom a thing at this point? That's the stupidest, lazy thing. If you want to, like, why? Okay, why even include it? Just say, hey guys, hey
party
gang.
Night. Let's have a party.
Let's go have a party at my uncle's cabin. It doesn't need to be prom involved at all. This is the stupidest fucking plot point. It's not even a plot point. It's just nonsense. It's a waste, and it's goddamn fucktarded.
Are you upset that you didn't see prom dresses and tuxedos?
Yeah, I mean, if the whole thing about this movie is in the trailer,
I know you
in
like
the blurbs, it's
you
like
to keep your finger on the pulse of fashion.
Yes,
I know that.
Goddamn right. I want to see what dresser and style. Heyo. I mean, but if they're all about prom, it's prom night, trying to party, then feature the fucking prom or do something with it.
It's funny you do mention, because you actually do really harp on people's dresses quite a bit. Remember Resident Evil, our watch along not too long ago? We talked at length of Alice's dress and whether or not it was appropriate or not.
I think I've just been watching too much RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm getting into listening to them bitch about dresses and stuff now.
Oh my god!
I don't know. But seriously, it's dumb. So prom's over and done. And it's not, they don't even show you one montage shot. It's not even a shot of people dancing and fun, and then it's over. It's just, hey, we're getting our tuxes, we're getting dressed, and then cut, boom, prom's over to walk out. You don't see any of it.
They didn't have one stock footage.
Yeah.
Just even a stock footage, couple images of prom.
Yeah. Nothing. It's like, why? So why? No, I don't know. So the group loads up and drives off up to Nelson's uncle's house somewhere in some secluded wooded area.
The sweet Kia Sorrento.
We find out that the uncle is out of town for work, but does not know the kids are coming up to party. As they drive, Olivia brings up all the girls that have gone missing in the area. But of course, the guys like, whatever. Fuck that. They probably just ran away. Stop being a pussy. Who cares?
And they keep talking about how this is a small town.
Yeah.
They keep mentioning this small town. Dude, that'd be the fucking talk of the goddamn century in a small town.
Yeah.
You know, one girl goes missing. Everyone fucking, like, camps out, lights candles, has a vigil in small towns.
We're talking
and if
5
we're talking
now.
more than one,
yeah.
Dude, it would be like...
It'd be like calling the National Guard type shit.
Yes, exactly. It's like something fucked up is happening in this small town.
That's a good point. I didn't even... Yeah.
And they're just like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And these girls, if there's a small town, they would know who these... They'd be like their classmates, people they are friends with, or at least talk to in passing. I mean, it's a small school.
Or they would know of them.
Yeah, they're at least going to know who they are. And you're like, oh, shit, what's your name? Oh, man, but... Or they're going to know family or friends. Like, it's... Yeah, but there's like, whatever, who cares? They just ran away. And some of them even say, like, oh, they just wanted to get... They started running because they wanted to get out of this bumfuck town. They just wanted to get out of here, so they just left. That's all it is. Anyway, they arrive. As they arrive, we see the killer sitting at a workbench. He grabs a mask, puts it on as the group gets out of the car.
They're not honey-dicking around. They're just like, okay, here's the killer.
Yep, here he is.
There's the teenagers. Yep. He's getting ready. Watch out! Watch out!
Which, honestly, I can kind of appreciate that. Like, you know, like just cut to the chase. We all know where this is going. You know what you're in for.
Certainly do.
So the group unloads and they head inside. Molly and Olivia head to a bedroom to change out their dresses. Olivia's already saying, I regret coming here. This was a bad idea, blah, blah, blah. While they change clothes, the killer spies on them through the window, which Olivia then sees someone out there. But when Molly looks, of course, there's nobody there anymore. And Molly blames it on one of the guys trying to mess with him, that old chestnut. Back in the living room, all the guys have changed out of their tuxes. They turn on some music and start dancing, which is really awkward because normally in these movies, it's the girls who want to dance and have fun. And you don't see like 3 high school seniors, like high school dudes, turn on music and start dancing together.
Don't be so suburban. It's the millennials. Come on. Or the Gen Zers, I guess, almost. They're going to dance. They're going to have fun. It's a new generation, Marshall.
It's just weird.
And this, you were talking about the Halloween shot of the girls walking. Yes. This kind of made me think of Friday 13th Part 4 shot.
Kristen Glover shot.
And everyone starts dancing and stuff. And, you know, that's suddenly, I was like, okay, boom.
Okay.
I don't know if that's an homage or tribute.
You know what? I didn't think about it. Maybe.
But it goes on for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a long dance scene.
Yeah.
And everyone starts dancing. Everyone's having a great time.
Yeah, eventually the girls join in then for a little while too. Till Molly tells them that, after they dance, and then Molly's like, oh, by the way, Olivia saw somebody peeking through the window. Don't you think that'd be the first thing you'd fucking say?
I was wondering where you're going with those dancing shit. I'm like, okay, where's the punchline?
So at this point, someone mentions like, hey, maybe we should leave and go call the cops, which that's the smart thing to do. But nope, there's like, fuck that.
They're
shoot that shit down.
Drinking at their uncle's, but they're not gonna call the fucking cops.
I know, but still, it's like, god damn it.
That's your old man talking right there. That's your old man dad powers coming through. Call the police.
You'll grow into those powers soon, my friend.
I've already accumulated them. I'm just busting your balls about it.
That's your Padawan. Your day's coming. Nelson says it's probably just late night late night fishermen prowling around outside, or people that live just down the road that came to check things out. Sure, why not? What the?
I mean, there are night fishermen.
Yeah, but I mean, night fishermen could go down to the lake, not walk up to your windows at night.
Like, hey, kitties!
Hey, yeah, hey, look at your kitties. Yeah. So,
I'm gonna set my lure on them knockers.
So Nelson pulls out a handful of old VHS horror movies, which he says his uncle loves these movies. One of them is The Mutilator, I noticed, by the way, which we've done the show. It's a good movie.
It's Mutilator, Splatter You.
I don't know about that one, but I mean, Halloween's definitthere one.
Yeah, but he said Splatter You.
I missed that one.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that one.
He said
Okay.
another one like...
Splatter You we did on the show, too.
Yeah, we did. And there was one other one. Motel Hell, which we haven't
We haven't done that one.
But I remember, like, they're listing off better...
Relatively somewhat cult classics.
Yeah, exactly.
So the guys want to watch him, but Olivia's like, Olivia's party pooping. She's like, no, I'm not watching that.
And then they kind of go into
I'm already freaked out enough. I don't need to be watching these more. Or get scared.
They kind of go into a love letter for indie or for low budget horror movies, slasher movies. It's like, this was the golden age of horror, the 1980s.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. It's like, their whole, they're really like
wink, wink, fourth wall break.
Head and shoulders that we like horror movies. We're doing this because we love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it, man.
So Nelson and Amy go into the kitchen to put the beer in the fridge. But Amy finds a bowl of freshly eaten cereal on the counter, so there's a red flag.
Yeah, milk hasn't turned. It looks bad.
Yeah.
Old what's his nuts? It's like, oh, it could be one of his friends who stopped by. I know he
Nelson, I think it is.
Nelson, yes. Nelson's like, well, he's like explaining it away.
Yeah.
Even though it's pretty like, that's a really good point.
Yeah,
girl.
That's odd, but like, you know what? I'm sure it's no big deal. Let's blow this off again. At this point, Amy suggests that maybe they should leave. That this place hasn't felt right since they got here. So now we got two girls who are like, you know what? Something's off. We need to get out of here. And
their spidey senses tingling.
Yeah. And of course, the guy's like, fuck that. No. Now it's like, no, it's cool. We're good. Don't worry about it. In comes Travis and Molly, who say they're going outside to explore and have some alone time. And they head outside where they sit on a rocking bench. Molly suggests they go for a romantic walk along the river, but even though it's not a river, it's a lake, but down by the water. Travis says, no, it's too dark outside.
And they instantly get into a fight.
Yeah.
Like a huge
Molly
fight.
just like, you fucking pussy. And then Travis like snaps at her. Says like, you want to go? You can go by yourself. But
it just goes from like, nah, to, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like,
God
let's go on a romantic. Let's have some alone time together. It's nice. And just, bam, blow of the roses.
He starts like accusing her of using him for sex,
Yes.
so he could like so he could like buy her stuff, and she has a carte blanche to be a bitch. But as long as she sucks his dick,
that's pretty much exactly what it is.
And it's just I'm just like, whoa, like you went from like just kind of like a little bit of back and forth to like a full on drag out Jerry Springer fucking fight. I'm just waiting to see Steve come over and like hold her back and shit.
Yeah, he says exactly like, I'm sick of you thinking that I'll do whatever you want just because you blow me and fuck me.
And they're really yelling at each other loud and nuts.
They would be heard inside. The people inside would easily hear them, but never once like do they acknowledge this or they hear him? But anyway, they argue more. He calls her a shitty girlfriend. She storms off into the darkness alone. Inside, the others sit around talking, drinking. In comes Travis demanding a beer. The others ask where Molly is. He explains what happened. And they're like, well, you need to go find her. But he's like, nope. She wants to be alone. I'm not going out there. You can go if you want, but I'm staying right here.
Beer me,
yeah.
You notice what the beer they're drinking?
I don't remember.
So this fucking threw me off.
It's, fuck.
They're drinking Red Stripe.
Yes, thank you.
But they're
Red Stripe.
in clear bottles. Red Stripe always. I've only seen in short browns.
Yeah, I could have sworn one of them was short brown at least.
Well, there were clear bottles that they were drinking.
It might have been a mixture, but yes, I definitely do remember seeing the Red Stripe.
I like to pride myself on alcohol and knowing some beers and identifying beers. If I don't know it, I'm like, ooh, I'm interested. It's a fucking Red Stripe bottle with a clear glass. Huh. I mean, I don't know if that's a Texas thing, but that threw me off.
Yeah, I do remember seeing the Red Stripe label for sure. I thought it was a brown bottle, but I could be wrong.
Jamaica.
A
lot of mercy.
So Andrew says, you know what, I'll go out there. But again, Travis is like, no, you don't go out. You're going to sit here. She's going to be by herself. So just leave her alone. So we go back to Molly now, who's alone in the woods down by the water. She hears someone walking around. Of course, she thinks it's Travis. So she lets out another verbal tirade of curses at him. A large rock splashes down in the lake. So I don't know if somebody threw a rock at her and just missed and it went in the water, or somebody just like, plunking. I don't know. It was a weird thing.
Kind of
like,
weird. It was like someone chucked a rock. It's like it's probably the killer. Like shit.
I missed. Yeah, like I don't. It's a weird shot. Like I don't know what you get from that. Anyway, the killer then emerges from the darkness in front of Molly, and let me tell you, this is the most terrifying costume outfit I've ever seen a killer wear in a movie. You think
Freddy is terrifying? You think Jason's terrifying? Michael Myers, Leatherface.
Oh, Leatherface is good, but nope. Nothing says terror and beg for your life or fear for your life much as a man in a two-tone blue windbreaker
with a hood up.
I don't know if he had a hood up. I just think he had long hair and a mask on, but he's wearing a fucking two-tone windbreaker.
Tracksuit.
I don't think it's a tracksuit. I think it was like jeans and like a light, like two-tone blue windbreaker, but maybe a tracksuit.
Oh man,
I saw that. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I wish it was a tracksuit.
A tracksuit would have been better, at least maybe. But
like
goddamn,
it's like your old Italian uncle who's like, "Hey, come on, have the gabagool." Hey, just wearing.
Jesus, I mean, these put him in a fucking flannel or something, like a fucking
I don't know,
windbreaker.
Man. I don't mind it so much. Flannels are so overdone.
You're
with
right,
killers.
it's overdone, but I don't know, like a
tracksuit's pretty fucking bad.
Jesus Christ, it's terrible. It's fucking terrible.
How about a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt?
There you go. Austin 316 says you're dead.
I don't know, just something.
I don't know, but yeah, instead of being scared, she just stands there like, who are you? Like there's no fear in her. It's really poorly done. Like this girl should be freaking out. The killer just stands there in silence. Finally, after a few moments, Molly freaks out, I guess, from the guy just standing there staring at her, and she takes off running.
Off.
And the killer just stands there some more and watches her run away. Like, she gets a good lead on this guy.
Yeah, I had a real hard time with this.
Yeah, so did I.
She's small.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, she's not an athlete, but you can see her run away, and
yeah.
she's running pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, and she runs away, and the killer just stands there and watches, and watches, looks at his watch, watches, and then he's like, okay.
All right.
And then the next fucking scene.
Very next shot, we see her running up to the house, and she's about to reach to the door, reach her hand out to the doorknob. Right there. But then she does this grab from behind by the killer.
Just instantly.
Who then...
either he's a world-class athlete or she's slow as fuck.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's really bad. I mean, it was really bad.
Pretty egregious. And then to make it worse, we get one of my other big pet peeves is the killer lifts her up off the ground with one hand and slits her throat with the other hand.
No.
Yeah, because he's behind her and he uses like his forearm or something and like lifts her up off the ground with like his one arm and then slits her throat with the other arm.
So
behind.
He lifts her up, slits her throat, and then grabs it. And he's holding the machete and pulling it into her, like holding the blunt end of the machete with one hand, the handle with the other, and holding her up. Like that.
Okay, he does do that.
I don't mind that. I think this is absolutely 100% doable because that chick looks like she's like 90 pounds.
Yeah,
soaking wet.
You know what? I recant. I take that back, guys. Let's rewind. Bloop, 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 bloop. All right.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was actually
I agree.
good
Like
kill.
I forget it's from behind, and then he did use the machete to kind of hoist her up a bit. Yeah. I forgot about that.
It wasn't like a choke slam moment and lift her straight up.
Yeah,
like that.
that's what
it was muscling her up from behind.
I take it back. I take my criticism back there, and I will actually say, seeing it done this way, I agree. Now that you remind me, it doesn't bother me as much, and it's actually something we haven't really seen done before.
Yeah,
doing it that way. So
kudos.
Yeah. Anyway, she's dead. Back inside, Olivia gets upset that more than 5 minutes have passed and Molly still hasn't come back. Begrudgingly, Travis gets up to go after Molly while the others comment on how quickly this party has turned to shit. Travis goes outside and somehow doesn't notice the giant bright red blood stain on the front porch. That's like 3 feet in diameter. It's huge. And he just walks right. He's like, nope.
That is one thing they do not skimp on in this movie is the blood.
Yeah.
They go ham with the blood, which I like. I like that.
He calls out for Molly, getting no response. And so he heads out into the darkness as well. He wanders around for a bit and starts hearing whistling, calling out to him. So he's like, oh, well, that must be Molly wanting a little sticky. And he's leading me on like a siren song. He starts following that whistle.
Is that what you call sex?
Yeah.
Sticky.
Little sticky.
Ew.
So back inside, Olivia is pacing around, freaking out and wanting to leave as soon as Travis and Molly get back. The whistling outside continues, luring Travis to a shed/garage, someplace.
It's like a
little
garage,
smaller, detached building. He approaches the door, and he gets grabbed and pulled inside, where the door is slammed, or he's slammed down on his head slammed down onto the workbench, with his head pinned down. He looks up and sees Molly's dead body on a couch. The killer grabs a knife and then just stabs it straight down through his ear, killing him.
Ugh,
He's dead.
That's a nasty way to go.
And I gotta say, his emotion or his fear was actually pretty good, because he was like, Molly, no. He's like, no. Like, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
it wasn't terrible. And then he's just right through the ear with the knife. He's dead. Inside, the remaining four get into a deep conversation about relationships, which really starts to put a damper on the mood and then raise some tensions between them. Because they're talking about, like, what we're going to do because we're graduating. We're going to different colleges.
Some of us are staying here.
Some of us want to stay together. Others want to, see other people. And what do we do? Our relationship has a timeline. But how can you really, if you love somebody, you really love somebody.
They all seem oddly mature about it, however.
Yeah. I call bullshit on. These kids are like 17, 18 years old. They are not emotionally mature enough to handle this.
Or they're just
in denial, really. They're in that part. I think somewhere in that I'm 18, everything's perfect, nothing bad's gonna happen.
The dude does say one thing that kind of made me go, ooh. He goes, what I'm afraid of is looking back and saying, when we get older, this was the best time. Like, wanting to go back to high school, thinking this was the best time of our lives. And I'm like, ugh. So many people do fucking live in
high school.
The high school moments.
Yeah.
And I have a question for you then.
Okay.
If you could,
would I go back to high school?
Would you go back to high school, but not having the knowledge you have now? It's like you got to reset, but you're not aware of the world how it is.
Ooh. See, now I've never thought about it from that perspective. I was like, if I go back, fuck yeah, I'd go back and read, everybody do things differently.
Well, yeah, because it's like if you had the knowledge now, you're like, invest in Microsoft, invest in Apple.
Even not even invest in that. I just be like, get involved in this group or spend more time doing this or do and not,
go to this school, get that,
yeah. I you know what, I don't want to waste too much dead air, so or have dead air. I don't know. I've never thought about it. That's a really interesting perspective to think about, because I've never looked at it from that. What's your answer? What was your answer?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because if I had the knowledge now, yes, I would. But now, no, I wouldn't, because I think I'm doing okay. I'm pretty happy with my life. I think if I did it again, I don't know if it'd be much better, or if it was, nah, still wouldn't do it.
Okay. I'm leaning towards maybe I would, but it's hard. Like I said, if we don't have the knowledge of anything, then I don't know if I just make the same mistakes, or if someone
it's very possible everything could be exactly the same.
Yeah. So yeah, they have this anyway. They eventually they changed it, because before it gets worse or out of control, Andrew changes the subject and suggests they play some card games. They all agree, and Olivia turns on some music. Time passes as they play cards, and they seem to have made up and moved on all of a sudden. So the people that were arguing about the relationship and look like about to break up, they're like suddenly like it's never happened. Like, oh, okay, we're fine, let's move on. It never happened. Nelson brings up how long Travis and Molly have been missing. Olivia gets up to go use the bathroom. Well, in the bathroom, for like no reason whatsoever, she gets all freaked out and thinks someone's watching her, or even though there's 0 windows in this bathroom, it's a tiny little bathroom with no windows in it. But she's like freaking out, looking around like, oh my God, someone's watching me. It makes 0 sense and came out of nowhere. Yes, I know she's the girl who's been freaked out before, but at this point she'd calmed down. She was with her friend.
Had a couple drinks.
Had a
dance party.
And she goes to a bathroom where it's not like the lights aren't working. It's a dark bathroom. There's windows everywhere like leaking out. No, it's a brightly lit, small bathroom. Nowhere for anybody to hide. It's just basically a sink, a toilet, and a small tub. That's it.
And that's what she's afraid of. She's afraid someone's in the tub behind the shower curtain.
Yeah, so she yanks back the shower curtain to find nothing. So it just goes back to the party where they play more cards. So I'm like, what the hell is the point of this scene? It was completely pointless. There's no jump scares. It's a total waste of time. It breaks the flow of the movie. It's a really odd and I think completely useless scene.
I totally disagree for what's coming up later. Totally disagree with that.
You could.
There's foreshadowing. There's some
sort
foreshadowing
of, but at the
here.
same time, you don't need it.
You are totally wrong. Boo, you're wrong.
All right,
And
so
it's not that long. We've spent more time bitching about it than the scene actually is.
you're right. That's true. So we go back to the others, and they continue to play cards. Again, this really slows down anyway, though. This card playing scene goes on for a while. Eventually, Nelson brings up Travis and Molly again and suggests that he and Amy go look for them while Andrew and Olivia stay here in case they come back. So as soon as Nelson and Amy leave, Andrew and Olivia start making out and then just get up and head to a bedroom where they hop on board the bang train and ride all the way to Pound Town. And it turns out it's a very short trip, by the way. After they bang, they talk about the relationship and what happens after they graduate and this whole long distance relationship. So we get right back into that conversation just had. We go right back into it. Olivia gets up, goes back to the bathroom to clean up. Outside, Nelson and Amy are having no luck finding Travis and Molly, but continue to look around. Inside, Andrew gets out of bed, knocks on the bathroom door, which scares Olivia. He tells her he's going to go get a beer and put on one of those cheesy horror movies, so he leaves. Olivia goes to pull back the shower curtain again. This time, right as she's about to grab the curtain, a machete comes stabbing through the curtain and into her stomach.
Bum, bum, bum.
Olivia spits up a bunch of really bad-looking mouth blood and dies. So here's where you're talking about the foreshadowing.
Yes.
So you think it's cool, and I'm saying you didn't need it. Like the previous scene, you could still have her reach for a curtain and she still gets stabbed without. I mean, it doesn't really do much to add. It doesn't add much to her destiny.
I think I know what the writer was going for. I don't think it was executed well by the actress. I think she should have had more like odd, like physical moments and just more sense of dread, and then pull it back fast and be like, oh, okay. You know, and then when she goes back in, she hears like a bump or a bang. This is stuff easily can be done. Here's a bump and a bang. Is like she's almost like in disbelief. Like, no, there's no fucking way. I already checked this. Reaches for it. Wham! You get killed. That would be great. But I just think it was poorly executed by the actress.
Okay.
So
all right.
The scene was necessary. It just was poorly executed.
All right. I mean, I see your point, but at the same time, I also think it could have been cut out completely.
I mean,
sure. But the movie,
this whole fucking movie couldn't have
That's
been
true.
made.
The movie, it's just another short one, guys. It's only like an hour and 10 minutes long. So even with that, you know, they, I guess, throw that extra bathroom scene for a little bit of filler. Anyway, Olivia ends up dead. She's done. Where were we? So we go back outside where Nelson and Amy are still wandering around. They come across a white pickup truck, which they know still has the keys in the ignition. Amy gets a little freaked out by this and wonders who the truck belongs to and where that person is.
And Nelson's like explaining it away. He's like, "Oh, it could be like a fisherman.
It's another night fisherman.
Just, you know, people. It's cool, whatever. No
it could be
big
the people
deal."
down the road. Just, you know, leave their trucks parked in random places in the middle of the field. It's no big deal." So with no signs of Travis or Molly, Nelson thinks that maybe they ended up back at the house with Andrew and Olivia. So let's, I guess, head back there now. So we cut back to Andrew watching the indie Christmas slasher movie called Dismembering Christmas, which I've actually seen this movie and I've had it on our horror Christmas list for a while now, hoping we'll get to it this upcoming
I was
Christmas
trying to
season.
identify it. I was like, okay, it's Christmas.
I've seen it a few times.
And I'm
yeah.
like, it's not Black Christmas. I don't know what this is. I'm not sure. I was having trouble. Nice.
Yep.
Good.
Dismembering
there,
Christmas. The part of the movie, this is because you don't know this, but I can pick up.
I'm guessing it's like the very end.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like he started it at the end of the movie. He's watching the end of the movie, which means that he's either been sitting on that couch watching this movie for over an hour, or he fast forwarded the entire movie to the ending, or some asshole didn't rewind it and he just put it in and it starts at the end.
They are cassette tapes.
They are cassette
or
tapes.
VHS tapes.
Yeah. So maybe it wasn't rewound, but it's just a weird thing, like start at the end, you know. It's just a weird thing. So while he's watching the movie, we get some shots of the killer stabbing Olivia's body some more in the bathtub.
Playing with her guts and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Andrew hears some noises and wonders what Olivia's doing, so he gets up to go have a look. He goes to the bathroom, hears the shower turn on, which for some reason pisses him off. Like, I don't know why. He's like, he's fine, he's in a good mood. But then
she's not replying. She's not saying anything back. I think that's what's pissing him off. Because he's like, hey.
Well, he's kind of like, you okay? You all right there? And then the tower shirt, he turns the shower on, and he's like, what? You're taking a shower now? Thanks for fucking telling me. And then he just storms off. I was like, that's an awfully harsh reaction to a girl taking a shower. I found it odd. It's just a weird and random thing to get mad at. So he goes to the kitchen to get a beer out of the fridge. As he does, we see the killer standing behind him holding the bloody machete. Andrew closes the fridge door, walks away. Nothing happens. Just kind of one of those weird establishing shots. Nothing happens. Back outside, Nelson and Amy talk about how creepy it is out here. He comforts her. They start to kiss, and that's when Amy hears the sound of twigs rustling off in the distance.
More environments.
Critters.
I can't talk.
Or they run back to the house and bump into Andrew, who for some reason is now outside and shirtless. That makes zero sense. I don't know why. So he gets mad at Olivia being in the shower. So he's like, fuck it. I'm leaving the whole house. I'm not going to, by the way, I'm not even going to get dressed. I'm just going to go outside. It makes no sense why he's out here.
If you had abs like that, you probably wouldn't wear a shirt that much.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine, I guess, but he's not like he's no Kevin Caliber, that's for sure.
No.
So
if he has abs, I don't. So he can wear a shirt. He can walk around shirtless all he wants.
Okay.
Whereas if I did, people would be like, dude, come on, man, you got a hairy back. Put that shirt
on. Andrew tells him that he thinks something strange is going on, that Travis and Molly still haven't come back, and now Olivia won't come out of the bathroom. So they all go back into the house. Inside, Andrew notices that the movie is still playing on the TV, and he counts that it shouldn't be playing at all, that it was over when he left the house. So they go to the bathroom and check on Olivia, but they get no answer when they bang on the door and call out for her. And then in the kitchen, they find some blood on the floor as well. So looking around more, Amy finds a stash of missing girl posters in one of the kitchen drawers. Amy asks Nelson why his uncle would have all these, and Nelson says, well, maybe he's just trying to keep an eye out for these girls.
And this is
trying to keep up to date with what's going on in the area since he lives here.
I got super fucking suspicious of Nelson.
Oh, yeah, I've been suspicious from the whole time.
Because he's been explaining things away, and obviously this is like starting to really catch up, and I'm like, okay, something's going on with Nelson. Ooh, what's going on?
100%. I mean, I think that's obviously what they're going for. I got the same thing. You start thinking they're making Nelson look very, very sus here. So anyway, at this point, Amy demands that they leave now. Like, fuck it, we're leaving here. And Nelson's like, okay, fine, I'll go get the car, and tells her to go get Olivia out of the bathroom. You go get Olivia out of the bathroom. I'll go to the car. She kisses him. Nelson makes a run for the car. He gets to the car, opens up the rear hatch, grabs something out of it. But when he closes the hatch and turns around, he finds himself face to face with the killer. After a moment of them just standing there looking at each other. Okay, well, first of all, the killer wears like this, I guess it's a skin mask.
I guess it's supposed to be a skin mask.
It's not like a full on like leather face.
It's like a skin balaclava.
Yeah, thank you. That's balaclava,
Yeah.
or a fucking COVID mask. It just kind of goes around like over the nose and it covers the mouth. You see, but doesn't cover his actual eyes.
Eye holes.
His eye holes.
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be skin, but it's just weird.
It just looks like a blob on your face. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, it's not like Leatherface's was gross because it looked like it was like stitched together and like funky and different types of skin and just weird. You know, even the fucking heavyweight championship belt from
Red Wrestle Massacre.
Looked better than this.
Yes, it did.
It just I was just like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh, skin?
I did that too. I was like, what is that? First, like, oh, I guess it's supposed to be skin, but whatever. So anyway, the two of them stand there looking at each other for a moment. Then Nelson says, "Uncle?" So what? Oh, there's our big revelation. Now we see that the killer. Oh, I said the skin mask. The killer mumbles something that sounds like, I don't know if this is correct because it's hard to understand. It says, why did you come here is what I got out of it.
I heard, why did you bring them here?
Okay, well,
Which is
pretty close.
And this is when the fucking reveal should have happened. He's like, I thought we were supposed to. I brought him here just like you told me to. They're in it together. He would show Nelson horror movies. They're in simpatico. He was bringing them victims. He's grooming Nelson to be a killer too.
Yep.
It'd be something kind of cool. But no!
Nope. The killer, Uncle Killer, whoever, just slashes Nelson across the neck with a machete.
Such wasted fucking opportunity to make it something kind of original or kind of different or kind of interesting. Fuck
I don't know how original it would
me.
be anymore at this point, but I thought the same thing. Like I thought it'd be
would
something.
be a little bit better.
Yeah,
It
I
would
agree.
be better.
Yeah, if Nelson was like secretly in on it or something. Yeah, I thought the same thing, but no, the uncle just kills his nephew, just hits him, and he doesn't even like really slash or try to cut his head off. He doesn't
whacks
slit his
him.
throat. He just kind of like hits him like the guy. Oh, good whap right in the neck with it. And yes, his neck does get split open, but it's not like a full slit.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like okay. Anyway, Nelson's neck splits open. Blood splurts out as Nelson slowly slides down the side of the car and dies.
You did say he hit him with a whap.
A whap.
Wet ass pussy.
Oh.
You know it's a Cardi B song, right?
No.
Oh, that's the big Cardi B song.
Well, again, this is funny, Aaron, because just earlier today, Aaron and I, and then the boys from Here Comes the Spooky, were in a text conversation, and Aaron brings up Cardi B, and
Everybody hates her.
and we were like, "Fuck her! Who cares about her?" And Aaron's like, "Oh, she's great." And I saw she put whap, and like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, is it supposed to be whack? I don't know. And so now you're bringing up Cardi B again. So.
Cardi B's on the brain, man. With a butt like that, I mean, that's all I can think about sometimes. Anyway, Dukes and Spook, check out Here Comes the Spooky podcast.
So we go back to Andrew, where there we are. Andrew and Amy still trying to get into the bathroom. Finally, at this point, Andrew decides just to kick the door open, which he probably could have done a long time ago. But finally does it. The door flies open. Inside, they see the bathroom is covered in blood, but there's no sign of Olivia. I mean, it's like a slaughter in there. There's just blood everywhere. From the windows to the walls. That blood run down their balls. I don't know. So they run off through the house. They fling open some door, I don't know, and run right into the killer who's standing there waiting for them. Andrew and Amy run back into the kitchen where they try to hide behind the counter. Andrew tells Amy that she needs to go hide in the bedroom closet because that always works out so well for every other horror movie ever.
Yeah, we just saw someone hiding in the closet at the beginning of this movie,
Yeah.
so that's a genius place to go.
Yeah, hide in the closet. After a bit of argument, she's like, no, I'm going to do it. But after a bit, she's like, all right, fine. And she runs off to hide in the closet. Andrew stands up and starts to make his way across the kitchen. The killer pops up from fucking nowhere. Just boom, there he is. Attacks Andrew with a metal meat tenderizing hammer. Andrew is able to defend himself with a skillet, like a cast iron skillet or something. And they fight. They exchange some punches. Andrew gets busted open. Eventually, the killer gets the upper hand, is able to knock Andrew to the floor. And from there, he kills Andrew by beating him to death with the meat mallet and the heavy skillet. The killing blow comes when the killer actually stomps the handle of the skillet through Andrew's neck, which is original. I've never seen anybody kill with a skillet that way before.
Yeah,
So I'll give him points for that.
I will give him points for that too. It was just, and I'm sure it was just the way it was shot like this intentionally. It's just so much. It was so up close.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't see a lot of the, of the gore that was implied.
Yeah.
You know, but it was still cool. It was still It was still good for an indie movie.
Yeah.
Well done.
I agree.
Well done.
I give him credit for that one too. We cut back to Amy crying while hiding in the closet. After a bit, she decides to take a peek. So she cracks the door open and sees the killer's eye looking right back at her. And speaking of like homages and famous shots, this one, and it didn't dawn on me till just now. Wow, because not Halloween, and because the shot in the original Black Christmas, there's an incredibly freaky and scary shot of when it's a close up of the killer's eyeball looking through a keyhole in a door.
Yes.
And that, even to me, when I saw it, like, oh God, that's terrifying. And to me, I don't know if that's because it's as a close of just the eye through the cracked closet door open. So maybe that's another, maybe they're trying to homage that or represent that. So I'm just throwing that out there. But anyway, so where was I? I'm sorry. I always lose my spot when I get on rants. Okay. So she sees the killer's eye looking back at her. She slams the door closed, but the killer is able to grab the doorknob and pull it, like kind of keep her from closing all the way. So Amy then just like does the old like rope-a-dope, like when you're doing tug of war, you just let the rope go and the door flies open and the killer kind of stumbles back, which allows her to
stab him.
Yeah, she stabs the killer in the eye with a crappy metal hanging rod right in that soft, wet eye hole.
And this made me think of Halloween.
Soft, wet eye hole.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you like that? You want to hear it one more time? You like that, guys?
Do it.
Do it. Okay, here we go.
Soft, wet eye hole.
Yeah.
Wet ass eye hole.
Wet ass eye hole.
But dude, that part made me think a little bit of Halloween.
That's Halloween, 100%.
Yes, it's like, you got a flimsy piece of metal and you're in a
It's
closet.
not a wire hanger,
right?
but
it's
yeah.
not, but it's still a piece of shit.
It's a piece of shit,
like you
yeah.
gotta be lucky as hell. And of course, wham!
Right in the eye hole. Yeah.
Right in the what was it? What?
Soft,
Yes.
wet eye hole.
Do it. God
Yeah.
damn. Is it hot in here?
So yeah, I don't have that one queued. I don't have Nelly queued up on that one. Not hot in here anyway. But yeah, just for shits and giggles. There we go. We'll just throw that in there just for some good. Amy runs out of the closet while the killer screams in pain and pulls the rod out of his. What was it?
Soft, wet eye hole.
All right, now we're just beating dead.
No,
horse.
we are. All right, that was the last one. All right. Amy is able to run out of the house where she makes it to the car, gets in, or the truck, or no, it's car. I don't know what this was. She gets inside a vehicle, gets inside, and that's when Nelson's dead body slides down onto the windshield from above. So wait, you're telling me she runs up to this car, and it's the car, it's not the truck, it's their car. She doesn't see his dead body right on the roof of the car. She's running right at the thing. His body would be right there.
Jock on top of
the
it.
guy's like 6'1", so like he's a big guy. He's just laying down, and she doesn't see him. And then what? What pushed his body? What gave him enough force for the body to move and slide down the windshield? How's that happen? So, fuck it. Anyway, Amy looks around for the keys. The killer pops up right next to her outside the driver's side window, and then just disappears from sight. He does like a pop up, like a whack-a-mole, just boop, peekaboo, and then he just disappears. He doesn't try to attack her, which is weird. He's just like, "Hey, I'm here," and then disappears. It's another weird choice, I guess. Amy crawls around the car, like all through. She's locking all the car doors. But apparently the killer has the clicker, the remote, and he starts unlocking, like, beep, beep, he just unlocks all the doors, which I was like, that's funny.
That's really funny.
And then forcing Amy to go around and try to scramble again, lock them all again. Amy arms herself with an ice scraper of all. I mean, I guess if you're desperate, something's better than nothing, but it's a fucking ice scraper.
Hey, man, she's 1 for 1 with shit tools.
That is true. That is true. The killer flings open one of the back doors and drags Amy out of the car by her ankles. But again, she manages to wiggle free. This time, she runs and locks herself inside the shed/garage or whatever.
The kill shack.
Yeah, the kill shack, great. Inside, she finds all the dead bodies of her friends, along with the fisherman we saw earlier.
And it's just perfect homage again to horror movies, the body display.
Yep.
We see it countless times in Friday the 13th. You see it in Happy Birthday to Me.
Well,
See it
Sleepaway Camp too.
So many,
the rundown little log cabin. They are all displayed in
it's
there
just
too.
Classic horror movie, trope again. Just the body reveal, all the bodies piled up in one area.
Yeah. Oh my god. So the killer starts banging on the door and then starts to hack his way in with an axe because this guy just pulls out more weapons than fucking whatever. He just pulls them out of his ass. Alright, so the killer does break open the door. grabs Amy and then tosses her aside where she falls to the ground. The killer approaches Amy, axe in hand. Amy grabs a piece of splintered wood, I think, or something, and then stabs the killer with it. Then gets up, runs back into the shed because he breaks the door, grabs her, and like he tosses her outside, and she falls on the grass.
She grabs more random shit than Carrot Top on Payday.
Oh, there we go.
Huh?
I don't have an applause, but
Okay.
there you go. So he stabs her with she stabs him with the splintered
random
wood.
piece of wood.
Yeah. Then gets up, runs back into the shed where she grabs a sickle. Armed with the sickle, Amy runs back outside to the killer who is getting up now after being stabbed. Amy then runs out to the back outside to the killer, and then with one fucking swing, Amy cleaves the killer's head right off his body and was one of the absolutely most terrible looking decapitation shots we've ever seen.
I don't know if it was so terrible as it was weird. It was just weird because when the head came off, like smoke started coming out.
You beat me to yes, because like first of all, there's hardly any blood. And either the killer, that's what I thought the killer's either a fucking robot, or I just learned that people have smoke inside them.
Or he took a big drag of a cigarette before
right?
he got
Yeah, because literally smoke comes out of his neck stump. Like a poof of smoke comes out. And it's so
weird.
It's so weird. Like I've never seen smoke come out of somebody's neck stump after getting fucking chopped off. So, I mean, it's just fucking amateur.
Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur.
I loved it. I was like, what the fuck was that?
I know, it's like smoke. What? I've never seen that. That's a first.
Never cut anyone's head off.
That's
so
true.
I wouldn't know. But
I'm pretty sure we don't have smoke inside of us.
Unless he's a heavy smoker, man.
Jesus. So,
oh, it was so awesome.
It would, but besides the smoke, though, it looks terrible.
It's not great.
The body looks so
fake. I think we've seen worse, but it's still not.
Yeah,
it's not the worst. It's pretty bad though.
And Amy stands there crying for a bit, just stands there crying and kind of in shock or whatever.
And
we cut. Oh,
go ahead.
No, good.
Yeah.
All right, we cut to the next morning where we see Amy covered in blood,
still wearing her prom dress.
She's the only girl she's the only person who never changed out of her prom stuff.
And she's still. So again, it feels like another throwback, because you see Carrie in prom dress. You see bloody gals in their prom dresses a lot in horror movies.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's
or in dresses.
Yeah,
but it's maybe not. It's.
I didn't think this was an homage. To anything.
It's not an homage, but it's a familiar look.
Oh, yeah, it's a familiar look. Okay, but she's just covered in blood, walking down the road, and she makes her way back to the white pickup truck we saw earlier. She gets in, she sits there crying for a bit more before she turns the key. The truck starts right up, and she drives away. And we hear the radio DJ saying last night that he had the opportunity to hang out at the Hoover High School after prom party, and that it was a real blast, which is the party that they decided to skip to come up here instead. So it's kind of like, haha, they should have just gone to the party.
They would have had a blast.
Real kicking the balls. Yeah, but real back. So then it just rolls credits. We start rolling, the credits just start rolling as Amy just drives.
She drives. Yeah. Was an interesting choice.
Yeah, which I actually didn't hate that because I didn't hate
I didn't hate it.
And so just the blackout, the Lara drive and her shock and her just like disbelief of what happened, just in silence. And but then it does eventually cut to black, and the credits continue to roll. And then after the credits, this blew my mind.
Yeah.
After the credits, it cuts to a close up of Nelson's face covered in blood. At least I think it's supposed to be Nelson because it's so goddamn dark I can't tell, but it's pretty sure it's Nelson. And then after a moment, Nelson's eyes just open up and it blacks out. End of the movie.
That wasn't Nelson from what I saw. What I saw, it was the girl from the fucking beginning because it's so goddamn dark. The girl who gets like possibly killed in the very beginning, I think it's her. That's who I thought it was. Yes.
No way is it her.
That was her. That was her.
Where would she have been?
Who fucking knows? That's why I'm like, what the fuck?
I thought it was Nelson.
No way, man.
Either way, both of them are horrible, weird choices because normally you see that shit, it's always the killer coming back. The killer's eye opens. So,
It's one of its victims.
In version 1, it's Nelson. So what point does it matter if Nelson comes back to life? Is that we're saying set up a sequel? Is Nelson going to become a killer now because his uncle tried to kill him and all of his friends? Like, why? What's it matter if Nelson lives in this movie? Is he going to track Amy down? They're going to be happily ever after now? Like, what's the point of this? And in version 2, if it's the girl from the beginning, which is even weirder and more far-fetched.
Who the fuck is she?
Who the fuck cares? She was nobody. We never even knew her name. What's it matter if she's alive or dead? And if she is alive,
who cares?
Who's gonna find her? What's the point? Like, the killer's already dead. Is she gonna go? Like, I don't get it. It's a weird, odd ending. Like, I just don't get that at all. Like, why even have it there? It serves no purpose whatsoever
and it's
to
not
the
scary
story.
or weird or
No.
Ooh.
I mean, if they would have done like where one of those things where like Amy and the killer killed each other, like they stabbed each other, they both died. And then at the end of the credits, Amy's eyes open again.
Yeah.
That would make sense. I get that. Or if the killer wasn't decapitated and then his eyes open, that would fine, whatever. But
I would have liked it better if he was decapitated and his eyes open.
Yeah, I was about to say that too, because that would have been just his eye opens and some more smoke comes out of his eyes or something. I don't fucking know at that point. It's just a weird ending that makes zero sense and does not need to be there. Serves
so
zero
there
purpose.
it is, party night.
Party night. That's it, guys. Let's move on to favorite kills.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill.
All right. So, it's not the worst body count we've seen in some of these movies, but it's not great either. So Aaron, what you got this week for favorite kill?
I gotta hand it to the fucking writer guy who did this, because he also did Mrs. Claus.
Yes.
And if you remember when we did Mrs. Claus with
The Dukes of
Cincinnati
Spook.
Jeff and Nachos McWerewolf, Duke's Spook over Here Comes the Spooky Podcast. Check them out. We all had different favorite kills. We all had a different favorite kill.
I think we did on that episode, yeah.
And this one, I also got to tip my cap. The kills were unique enough and different enough for the most part. There was a couple that were like a couple lame-os.
You get your standard, standard
which is
fare.
fine. But I mean, we had like hacking Nelson was kind of lame.
Yeah.
Stabbing the chick, even though it was through the curtain, which I think they tried to make it more dramatic, but we already had to talk about that.
Yeah.
Those two were kind of meh, but the holder from behind machete kill.
Different, a variation on the same old, but makes it new.
The kill with the skillet, the kill with, just driving the knife into the ear, and even the decapitation, as it's crazy was because of the smoke. That's just, I know that was a fluke, but boy, I loved it. I'm going to have to go with the machete choke from behind. That's my favorite kill, because it was the first time I've seen the machete used like that. Holding her up with its hand on the blunt side of the machete and other hand on the handle, pushing the blade into her neck and holding her up. I thought that was cool. I thought that was kind of unique, and it was bloody as hell.
That was one of the bloodiest. That did have a lot of blood.
And when she fell to the ground, they did a close-up on her neck wound, which looked really good for an indie. And she was still kind of taking her last breaths. Favorite kill, by
far. For me, it came down to Travis getting stabbed to the ear, and then Andrew in the skillet. I'm going to go Andrew in the skillet, just because... Yeah, the ear one looked good, and the emotion behind it. Like, if I put that would be terrifying to be in that shoe. Would be pinned down, and you're looking at your dead girlfriend right there, and you're terrified. You're like, no, and then you're just like, get stabbed. That would be horrible. But I'm going favorite kill Andrew, because one, it was kind of drawn out. He put up a fight. There's a fight. He gets beat down with a meat tenderizer first. He gets busted open, and it looks good.
He gets softened up.
He gets softened. Yes, he's soft. And then, I gotta say, I've never seen anybody killed with the handle of a skillet being stabbed, not just stabbed, but like stomped, like mud stomp and curb stomp, and somebody
totally
through
agree.
a neck with a skillet handle.
So
I'm going that one.
Kills. Good job, director.
Yeah, and it's been a while since we've had different kills. A lot of times it's the same one. So there we go. There's our favorite kills for this week. Let's move on to the odds and ends.
Just when you thought it was over, here comes the odds and ends.
So ratings, IMDb gives it a 3.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, it's not even on the site. And Amazon, 3 out of 5. Nothing fancy there. Plot keywords, there's only 7, and none of them are worth mentioning. They're all just babies, like stab, kill, killer. There's nothing fun there.
Not even prom.
I don't prom maybe, but
Probably
I don't
because
know.
it wasn't
Probably
your
not.
fucking
There really
prom.
is no prom in this movie. Trivia. The only things I could there was actually more trivia on this than like anything else. I try to surprise me. It's not a whole lot, but there's some. So first, this entire movie is supposedly funded by Kickstarter. So whatever. Not surprised there with these indies. Apparently, Billy Brannigan went on a strict diet before filming so he could look as slim as possible. This is because his character is referred to as the All-American Jock, which is really weird because Billy Brannigan played Travis, who is the smallest character in there.
Yes.
And it would make more sense if he went on diets to be more scrawny and if he was going to be more the nerdy, comical character. So I don't get that one at all.
don't either.
Because Andrew and Nelson are definitely the
More
jock
jock
characters.
types, yeah.
So I don't know. Unless
they
they're
were-
all supposed to be the American
Now
jocks.
they mentioned that in the tuxedo scene when we didn't go deep into the tuxedo scene, but they're like filming each other on a camera, like, oh look, here's the All-American Jock.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like the small. I thought it was like a joke.
Maybe
or
it is
like a
supposed.
knock
Maybe
at
he
him.
took it seriously and now didn't realize it was actually a joke or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, that's anyway. So apparently the whole movie is shot in 16 days. The cast and crew stayed together at the main house used for the film. They stayed there while they filmed. Writer director Troy Escamilla has stated that 80 slasher films, The Mutilator, Hell Night, and Prom Night were major inspirations for this film. Well, that's no surprise because most of those are mentioned in this movie in the first. Again, Billy Brannigan thought that his character should be a smoker, so when he arrived on set, he pitched the idea to the director, and then decided that the cigarette smoking would be featured in certain scenes. So that's a weird choice. Like, I want to be a smoker. Kids don't smoke. In the movie, Andrew, like I said, watches Dismembering Christmas, which I already talked about. Kevin Summerfield, who wrote and produced it, also served as producer for Party Night. So that's the writer-director of Dismembering Christmas was a producer on this one. So there's the link there. The original actress they cast to play Amy dropped out, and then the new actress Laura Toupal, Toupal, was cast as a replacement just 2 weeks prior to filming. And this supposedly is the first feature film from Fright Meter Films. So that's, I guess, a new company. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for possible Horrible Horror Hall of Fame. See what else they have out there. And that's all I got for trivia. Budget, unfortunately, could not come up with the budget. I couldn't find anything on that.
I'm gonna guess, since it was a Kickstarter, I'm gonna guess something like $10,000.
I would
like
go
a nice
lower.
round
maybe,
number.
yeah, somewhere. I'm thinking maybe 6 to 8, no higher than 10. I would think, because I don't know. This was 2017. Yeah, so Kickstarter's been around for a while, but I just don't see him get more than 10 at all. Probably 6 to 8, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. We don't know. So anyway, that brings us to Mortal Kombat Combat.
At the end of this day, one shall stand, one shall fall.
Good versus bad. Right versus wrong. Light versus dark. In the end, when the dust settles, who will be left standing after Mortal Kombat Combat?
You know, I gotta say, this little ditty has grown on me.
Oh yeah.
At first, I was like, "That's kind of long," and but we were doing 5-star reviews. It was just 5-star reviews, and it was like you're playing that. I'm like, that doesn't make too much sense. But
Yeah.
it morphed. It turned to Mortal Kombat Combat. I like it.
All right.
I like it.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. It's grown on me.
Good.
It's official. Stamp of approval.
So there are only 12 total reviews on Amazon. 35% are 5 stars, with 15% being 1 star. So it's gonna go real quick because there's not much. So 5 stars from Shelby simply writes, "Not bat at all. A bloody slasher movie with a couple of good jump scares included. 5 stars." From Jay Nether, Nether. Great actress in horror flick. I give this movie 5 stars directly because of the star of the flick, Laura Toupal, and her incredible acting chops. She is also a part of Puka Lives. I hope to see her in many more movies soon. 5 stars.
Someone's a relative.
And that's it. That's all I got for 5 stars that people wrote down stuff. And by the way, in common, Puka, if you have not seen that movie on Hulu, that's one worth watching. It's a fucking weird, but still creepy and like mentally kind of scary. It's worth watching. It's creepy. It's good. I if you can watch it, check it out. So 1-star reviews from Amazon customer just writes, hilarious. The only thing in this movie that is inferior to the horrible acting is the sorry special effects. 1 star.
I totally disagree with that.
Yeah.
What an
I don't
asshole.
think they're that bad. We've seen way worse.
Way worse.
And Chomp McDee's and things writes, my mouth actually fell open at the beheading scene. Dude, you could have chopped that out in post. Never have I ever seen a gag that looks so fake, and I've seen a lot of cheap horror movies. You can also watch tutorials on how to light and compose scenes and shots. This was just a movie that some kid made in his backyard. People donated to fund this? I'd be upset if I were them. Not for the low budget quality or acting, but for the lack of preparation. Hopefully they take the next one a bit more seriously. 1 star. And that's all we had this weekend. That's all there was. So not a whole lot on this movie. So let's add to it, Aaron. What side of this battle are we going? Where are you at here?
I feel like this should have been called something other than Party Night. Maybe This Old Chestnut. Because there are so many basic things that are just... It's like baby's first horror movie, or like horror movie by numbers, you know? Like they read the book for like how to make a horror movie for dummies.
Or like you took the filmmaking at the junior college level, like
Yes.
junior college filmmaking 101.
Yes, and that's exactly what it is. That's a great way of putting it. It feels like a very polished student film, almost in a way, you know. And yet, for the indies, we have to excuse the lighting issues, the sound issues, some of the acting issues, and that's fine. You give it a longer leash, but you can really mix it up with the writing, and that's what indies need to be today. Indies really need to have good, solid scripts, good swerves, something funny, something just that's a little off, you know, off the beaten path. But this was quite literally on the path, following all the directions this way to Horror Movieville. And dude, they followed the yellow brick fucking road on this one all the way to the land of horror. No deviation from the classic plot points, even to the homages that were done. So that part was a little disappointing. But at the same time, it's also kind of charming and endearing. I'm going to have to say just barely so bad it's good.
Okay.
Just barely. And it's just because you can tell it was a passion project. It's not a good movie. It's not a great one to see, but it feels like the guy really likes horror movies and just really wanted to make one. From what I understand, you said this is his first one.
I believe this was his first one.
This is his first one. So he's getting his toe wet. He's dipping it in. He doesn't want to rock the boat, just if he can make a classic horror slasher type movie from A to Z. Just go through it with maybe little nods here or there. He accomplished it, so good for you, buddy.
All right. You said a lot of things. Like, I agree. One, it shouldn't have nothing to do with prom. I've already talked about that already. They should have just cut that out altogether and just like, hey, let's call it Party Weekend, or like just
This Old Chestnut.
Yeah, just polished turd. I don't know. I don't know. It has nothing to do with the prom. So that's one problem. But yeah, it's nothing. It is the mold to a T. There is no new ground here. Nothing new.
Nothing.
The acting isn't terrible, but it's not great either. But it's certainly not the worst we've seen. Like you said, the kills are fine. The blood, for the most part, is fine. The gore's, except for the head decapitation, is fine. My problem with this movie is I'm not. It falls in that limbo void of more of just forgettability than bad or good, and that's probably even worse than being bad. You could just never watch, just completely gloss over and never, it'd be fine one way or the other.
This movie made no impact on my life whatsoever.
Yeah, it's not gonna. You're not gonna be like, oh, that's so. You're not gonna have memories like, haha, that movie's so bad. And have those fond memories of laughing at its terribleness and those weird spots. And it's not gonna be so bad it's good, or a good one. It's like, oh, that movie's great. Did something new. It's just there, and that's a problem. So how do I? Is it so bad it's good? So bad it's scary and don't watch it? No, either. So, but by that point, I will say. I don't know. I don't want to say so bad it's good, but so bad it's scary.
Well, those are your choices.
I know those are my choices. I know we kind of paint ourselves in a corner with this most of the time, but it's not that bad. If you can watch it, fine. You know what? It's free on Tubi. It's not going to do any good. It's only like an hour and 10 minutes. So for that, and some of the kills that are kind of decent and fun, I'll say so bad it's good, but I'm putting like an asterisk by mine. Now don't think just because it got two goods, this will probably for sure be in the tournament next year for sure. It's not. This is not getting a bye because it is one of the better movies.
It'll definitely be in the tournament. I mean, just because we both said so bad it's good.
Well, sometimes the good ones get left out, so I don't want to think
they're fucking good.
But we're saying it's good. The double goods normally get left out and pass.
This movie just really does ride that line between.
Rides it so much.
Do I need to turn this off or should I just keep watching it?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's an accomplishment just in saying that.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, okay, and it's indie, and like I said, I've already said it. The guy has a love for horror movies. You can see it in the work. It's not great work, but you can see the passion. Yeah, I mean,
it's not terrible. It's not unwatchable. It's just kind of blah. Like it's nothing. It's not going to change your life. It's not going to be. I don't know. It's just there. Like, if you want to watch a movie, you have an hour and 10 minutes to kill. Sure, watch it. It's free. It's not going to cost you anything.
It's like flavorless vanilla ice cream. You kind of eat it because it's ice cream, which you're like, this doesn't taste. I don't taste much of anything. Jesus, but you just keep eating it because it's fucking ice cream. That's me, and I just love ice cream. Now I want to get a fucking shake.
I love vanilla. That's my favorite flavor. But
I knew it.
Fuck you. But I 100% see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like, or like it's like pizza. There's great pizza, and then there's not so pizza, but pizza's still pizza, and you're gonna eat it because it's pizza. But yeah, or
it's like blowjobs. There are fantastic, amazing blowjobs.
No, there are bad blowjobs. There are very bad blowjobs. Teethy ones hurt, and those you do not want to put up with.
But you're still gonna finish.
Are you? Are you really? Because that shit hurts. And you're not.
Well, who's giving you blowjobs? Baraka? Jesus Christ! I mean, we get.
I had one. I will not name names. Oh, she ain't listening to this shit anyway. But she was a little teethy, and it fucking hurt. And I would find excuses to stop. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'd be like, oh, you got me so worked up. I just want to fuck you now. I can't wait any longer. So let's just move on. But so yeah, blowjobs can be bad. It can be not worth getting. I stand by that one.
I am sorry that your dick got so mutilated by that girl. Because I mean, I've had a little nick here and there, but you just power through, baby.
You know you power so much. It's like if you put a cheese grater in your dick, it's not gonna power through it. You're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna stop this.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. All
right.
I have not experienced
We have gone off the rails on that one. Anyway, guys, if you're still with us, thank you. If you want to continue to support the show, you can always check out our backlog and continue to listen to everything. But also, you can check out our Patreon page, donate a few bucks here and there. That really, really helps us out, helps pay for all the maintenance shit we got to do to keep the show going. Other than that, like I said, if you have any suggestions, tips, or you want to suggest any movies, you can reach us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can also check out the new hotline at 7404-SUCK-IT.
And what's the actual number on that? 740
42. God damn it. You asshole. It's 7404 suck would be S78 2 4, I think.
Oh, that's clear as mud.
Yeah,
Jesus
I fucking just God, you put me on the spot. I didn't have it ready. It's 4 sucking. I should just cut all this shit out and not even air this, but fuck it. 7404 suck it. Figure it out. It's not that hard. The numbers are on your phone. Fuck you, Aaron.
Oh, that makes you so happy. Okay. On that note,
All right,
show's
guys.
over.
Show's over. Remember, watch more horror movies. And in the meantime, guys, always. I fucked up my intro. Watch more horror movies and remember to always keep it tight.
Tight.